Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to look at grep. Grep is quite a powerful tool, so let's get straight into that. There'll be much to cover and we'll try to keep it as simple as possible because grep, as I said, is vast and there's so many flavors of grep. So let's get straight to it. So we'll start by just looking at what grep is. Okay, as you can see, grep, and just within the man page, you have so many flavors of, we call these flavors of grep, different branches of similar capabilities, but each one of these grep tools have got something specific, a specific use case that was intended, but there are common things among them all. The primary purposes of grep tools are primarily to match patterns within text files. That's much simpler said than what it, that I think that oversimplifies what it does, but we're going to do a few small demos, just look at some of the basic capabilities and leave you with a few experiments that you can carry on to learn more. Here it's a continuous learning environment. You have to keep playing with these things to get your head around it. It won't be the first time or so bear that in mind. So you have grep, egrep, fgrep. There's a long list. If you do man grep, you'll get a similar page as this. But what I want to look at here is the synopsis. Grep followed by arguments or options, followed by patterns and files that you want to target. So with grep, for example, you're looking for a certain string, a certain word within a text file. Grep will be the perfect tool for that. And let's demonstrate that just to give a little bit of visuals. So, for example, in this current folder, we have three files. We have application logs, note.txt. Let's do that list in long form. In long form, we can see application logs, and we have notes, and there's some workshop notes also. So one of the primary use cases for using grep in, say, a practical way is going to really large files looking for specific strings to denote different cases. For example, if I should open the application logs, it's a small simple example of what an application log could look like. In a general application log, your application will be putting out different statuses and different log levels. You have info, warn, error, and so forth. And this could be a really large file. This could contain gigs, in some cases gigs of text, which is quite a bit of text. Going through that manually to look for an error would be very difficult, possibly just undoable in any given time. So what we will do in that case, if I do grep and grep followed by a pattern, say, let's make the case simple for now, info, and we pass it the file. So let's look at application log. There you have it. So what grep have done is just gone through the file quickly, look at all the lines that have a match and return those lines. And this file could be reasonably large. Grep can be pretty quick, but remember the runtime is still depends heavily on the size of these files. In theory, grep will be going through all these files and looking at all the lines and looking for match. That can be processor intensive, depends on your operating system and the resources on your computer allocation. So with that said, so that's the basic use case of grep. Now, what if I did want to search for a lowercase o? Now that would not match because that is not an exact match to my pattern. So this portion of your statement is called your pattern. And to understand patterns, and without getting too complex in this very small demo, there is a pseudo programming language called regexpression. Regular expression, which is short for regular expression, in itself, regular expression can be quite unwieldy, quite a complex beast, because remember, matching different patterns throughout a text file sometimes would need a sort of a pseudo logic to identify similar matches or exact match. So for example, because I'm searching for info with a lowercase o here, that does not match what's in the text file, so it will not find anything. However, the additional flags or options you would pass -I, and let's see what happens. Now I'm passing up option to the regular execution engine, just informing that this search should be case insensitive for the letter I. Now it matches again, so it's looking for anything, whether it's a lowercase or uppercase. Oh, it would find that. Let's do something more demonstrative of that. If I say the letter A, it's going to go through the entire document and pick up all the letter A's, whether it's lowercase or uppercase. And if I should remove that, you will then see again, only picks up the case, because by default, grep will only match the exact case. Now, there are lots of tricks you could do with grep. If I try a little bit of what a regexpression can do, if I say A star, now it will return A and any additional A in that sequence. So it's looking for as many A's as possible, and that's kind of a really small introduction in looking into regular expression. It will take a much more comprehensive look at just understanding regular expression as a separate thing, but bear in mind, grep needs a pattern and a file, and that in summary is the primary use cases for grep. In further videos, we will revisit grep and look at more interesting options that you can pass to grep and how to actually get different kind of filtering done through different files. Let's leave one with, for example, as you know, we're looking for, let me get that right. Let's go for just search for D and C. So we have all the debug matches. What if I want to get everything except, so okay, we have all the debugs there. Let's get the full word up. That will work much better. I could pass an additional flag, like a V flag, and that will invert the match. That will give us the opposite of the pattern. So let's see what that looks like. Exactly. So now we're getting back everything from that file that does not match debug. So you can search for a pattern, or you can also search for the inversion of that pattern, which is anything that is not that pattern. So it's quite flexible. And if you should jump into the man page for grep again, you can see that you have a whole host, a very long list of patterns. You can also exclude specific files. You can search multiple files. And before we jump off, I'll maybe give you a short demo of how you could search multiple files within the same folder or across the entire system, and lots of different advanced capabilities that you can look into. But for now, let's have a look. So what if I wanted to search all the files in a specific directory? If you grep, let's search for the letter A, which we should have a match for that. And I said, let's look in this current directory and see what we have. That's a directory but let's give it a star, which denotes looking at all the files in this directory. Now, it's gone through all the files in this directory and it's found quite a number of A's. And this is the power of grep. You can search multiple files very quickly for whatever reason. Let's do it again. Additional word. Let's go for what. How many whats do we have? No match. So we have no match. And that's it. I think you've got that's a more or less a quick introduction to using grep. What the primary use case is. If you ever want to search something, grep would be your starting point. To develop your grep skill, you need to use very often, use very frequently, and practice, and try to look at the man page. Look at regular expression, which is a separate topic. It is not in itself a command line tool or command line. Many command line tools do accommodate regular expression, so we might look at that as an additional video at the end of the series. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one where we look at the additional tools. Thanks again.